event is starting. Let's go.
I don't think Sean's over there.
He's the one sitting on the ground.
Oh yeah.
Hello?
Yeah. I couldn't tell with the hat.
Honestly, I don't know what there is to even do. This is the second soccer game I've ever worked.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
she's going here for 4 years.
Wow.
I guess I won't have an essay.
There we go. Got the notification.
How's it look?
I'll check.
Have any of them never done camera?
Yeah, y'all.
Tell someone how to do it.
Put,
I don't know how good. I don't know how you.
you guys, put Taylor on the easiest camera.
Yeah,
She doesn't know what she's doing.
I'm thinking I could just have Jackson and Ryan.
Yeah.
Did we just run 2 cameras?
What you know about me? Oh yeah, 4 watching.
I got you. I'm the one that liked it.
That's a little bit off in the time, so we're gonna go.
Gloss Universal.
Oh, solo home run for Donaldson, only 13 to 1.
Heck
Only
yeah.
13 to 1.
Comeback is real. I picked Donaldson to be the series MVP.
He is severely disappointed. He's batting like a $133 in the series going into this game.
Oh
Like
man,
160.
way
He's got
lower.
a single on his first at bat, so they're probably about the same.
He hit the home run in game 1.
Yeah, and garbage time.
We should have won game 1. We wouldn't have even had to play today.
I'm excited. We should have won game 4. We're 4 outs away from winning. If Freddie was an inch taller, or a millisecond faster, to make that catch.
What if he would have just done it? Who knows? We left him on third.
Or, I was going to say, or if we would have scored in the 6th or 7th when we had bases loaded.
True. All true.
Is
Like, I know today is horrible, but we shouldn't have even had to play.
yeah.
There's no reason we should have had to play.
See, and then just like the cherry on top of this was when we gave it the 10 spot in the first, and then we got first and second with 1 out in the bottom of the first and still scored. Acuna had a leadoff walk.
Albies and Freeman.
Oh yeah, Albies rolled over. Well, Albies rolled over the one to second with the infield in, so he couldn't advance him. And then yeah, Freddie struck out, and I think Donaldson popped out on the first pitch. Oh, thanks for bringing me a cookout
Actually,
tray.
yeah, will you focus a little bit more up on the field? Or just on that camera also, try to get the fence in it as little as possible.
13 to 1. Single shot. A loony. What's up, Connor? Good.
Y'all can figure this out. So now I need to figure this.
Thompson isn't here. I texted Sean. I was like, anything specific you want me to do? He said, ask Thompson. Thompson's not here. Well, apparently he said he had to leave and go back.
Yeah, Thompson has a class thing. He had to. Yeah, nice.
There's only like 8 things to do for some.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, he sent so many people to come out here.
The only thing that froze was black. Me and Sean were like, why is this purple?
They're okay. I mean, we should get them pretty good. But, I mean,
No, we haven't had those succeed.
no, it hasn't been great, but we're definitely better than they are.
Right.
Let's say that.
It's like famous broadcaster.
Yeah, I know. I mean, you have to take it with a grain of salt. But from what I can tell,
We should be
Here.
okay.
yeah, let me show you.
I don't know how true that is. I was surprised with the.
I mean, their best players only got 4 goals, their top scorer. So it's like, Cross Balzano has 6.
There we go. Advantage there.
Yeah. I mean, their goalkeeper's pretty good. 3-4-1. Let's see, they're on a 3-game losing streak.
All right, there we go.
Looking for
Just
their
been a good
first
time.
conference win of the year.
There we go.
They've been successful at home.
Okay, they're not at home.
Yeah. Common opponents. Let's see, Lander, Georgia College tied 1-1 at home. They lost 5-0 at home.
Let's go. All right, I'm liking these advantages so far.
Yeah. Away, they've only got 1 win in 4 matches coming in.
Friend left. Too.
Yeah, they won 3 of their first 4 games. They have not won in any of their past 4. Playing in their 5th road game this season. They do return 10 starters.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hadn't seen the translation much.
Defense only giving up 1.5 goals per game, but they're scoring 0.8 goals per game. So, that doesn't help. In their 3-game losing streak they're on, they've been outscored 9-0.
There you go.
Our whole season.
When they don't shut out their opponents, they're 1-4. When they do, they're 2-1. Makes sense.
Yeah.
But it's like 20% of their games when they don't hold a clean sheet, they've been unable to win without a shutout.
Yeah. So it's like they get pretty much if they give up a goal, then they're fucked.
Yeah. Basically. They got the Sportsmanship Award last year.
There we go. They got something going for them.
That's what matters. Oh yeah, they've had 5 red cards this year and 3 yellow cards.
Okay. They're scrappy.
Their opponents have gotten 3 reds and 0 yellows. So I assume we've had
They're
altercations.
playing the emotion card.
And Georgia College only has 2 yellows and 9 games with no reds. And then I have make of that what you will. Their finishing percentage is 7%. Ours is 8%.
All right.
We are equally awful finishing teams.
Yeah.
Gosh. They're not balanced offensively. Half of their goals have been scored by 1 player. They've only scored 8 goals all year.
I'm liking our chances.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I think what happened is they used to be D1 from 05 to 16. Then they came to D2 and I think they lost everybody. Which makes sense. Like, if I'm a D1 player, I'm not sticking around if they're D2. Series history, Georgia College leads 3-2 all time. We've won all 3 meetings since Francis Marion came back to D2. We won 5-1 last year. 2 goals from Kayla Ruiz. In the last 3 matchups, Georgia College is 3-0 and has outscored FMU 16-2. Yeah. Our seniors have not lost today.
There we go.
And Al said expected if we don't see our backup goalkeeper, then it's a disappointment.
Hey.
Yeah, Al was bold with it, but
I was going out for the regular.
we'll see how bold that really is.
I am cultured, Silvio. Silvio took my money to me for saying he didn't know what happened. Alright, to be fair.
I was very confused by the way Jamar played that.
The worst thing was the price. That was the part that scared me.
We
$31 slushy tea.
about since '95. But the thing is, Grace won 14 straight division
Well, I think it's crazy.
titles or
After
whatever.
we
Got
go
one.
down 10-0, they start throwing out stuff. Braves have been advanced to the series and lost 6 straight game series division
It's like they like expected to save those stats for like the 8th inning or something, or like if they use them at all.
I was stunned when we were pulling Like, I was like, this is happening.
It's like
Game started 5 minutes ago and we're already playing our second division.
it's like you just knew it was gonna happen after he had such a great start game too, because it's like there's no way he's having back-to-back great starts.
Yeah, well, they're just having a bad start.
Yeah, reporting 1 out.
That's inexcusable.
You knew it was gonna be bad when they start off with a leadoff walk.
The worst part is Freddie has that error.
With the bases loaded,
Yeah, bases loaded. We're down 2 runs. Freddie has that error. That error resulted in 8 runs. He would have been out of the double play.
I know, honestly, I'm like, let it pour, let it rain.
You see how many people entered into that though? There's like 200 people.
What's the gift card to?
Just answer yes to everything.
Yeah, cross country. Yeah.
Well, will he pitch more than 6 batters? Should have been the question.
No, it's embarrassing. That's the best one.
Yeah.
Oh no! After he got pulled, after he got pulled, they kept cutting to him like just standing in the dugout by himself. Like I thought he was about to break out in tears.
Especially like Fulte out of all the guys, like he just has the most emotion out of like any of our pitchers.
I couldn't have done it.
Yeah, was that a cone or something?
Yeah, I was surprised he came.
I couldn't have watched it. I mean, you're gonna get a lot of
I
shit.
was like, why are there circles? They were like, what?
Yeah, Props was trying to support the team,
Yeah.
but
I wasn't sure.
thought it was funny
I was
'cause I was
like,
sitting there, I'm like,
4-point line or something.
Yeah.
Shoot from there and get a bonus.
and then Thompson put the words that
Spice it up.
crazy candy right now. You're not even in the hole.
I think if you shoot from the circles, it should be like a 4-point line. You know, shoot from there.
He doesn't need anything. He's
Waiting for the sun to go down.
Yeah. He's like, please just pitch me in like the 8th inning.
Yeah, he's like, let me close.
Why didn't you just first time that?
I know, right?
Yeah, I know someone says a
That's
game.
one of my
He's like,
pet peeves.
I wasted so much money.
The box with Joseph Martinez for United. Takes like 50 touches in the 6-yard box before he decides to kick it.
Just so you can get up
Just
there.
waiting for someone to slide tackle.
Already out of town.
Little run up here.
Yeah, that was when he jumped and then like just blew it straight over. I was like, what are you going for, bro? Like, ESPN's not gonna put you in the top 10 for a penalty. Like, I don't know what you're going for. I have no clue. Correct. South Carolina.
Hey Parker, is everything set up?
Young
What do you
boys in North.
I don't know. Sean just asked me, is everything set up?
Never,
Yeah, we're live.
never.
Okay.
I mean, we're ready for the game to start.
Okay.
All twisty for like 2 hours.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean, we went up there, like, I played in a concert with the talent ensemble last year, and we went to play in the concert hall. And, like, those 2 people got motion sickness and stuff.
Oh my
like,
gosh, no, I would totally do that.
yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing, is like,
Sean literally just told me, he's like, alright, just wait for Thompson to get back to see what you have to do. I'm just gonna be sitting around here the whole time.
I think we're a little
2 lanes
overstaffed.
and it's tight.
You definitely are.
Oh no.
Like, Sean just told like 2 or 3 people just to like come.
I wasn't even gonna come today. Like, and then Thompson texted me. He was like, "Yo, I have to like leave for something today. Like, could you?" Like,
I mean, maybe the only reason like 45.
Like that's the biggest thing. When I was
So I was like,
You're not getting paid for this.
no.
when I was like,
That's right. I think I'm gonna try to do mine with the radio and then just keep this as a job.
nope.
Well, that's what I did for my first one. Is I worked with WQR, but the second one, like you have to work with like an organization. So like this was like the best out of all of them.
Drive that one. Everyone does.
And you already had that connection too.
Yeah, true. I literally just texted Al. I was like, yeah. So you still got that practice for me? He's like, yeah. Just had to go get him to like sign something. So they just had to turn in like the midterm like evaluations.
Oh,
And I
gosh.
literally had to
Oh,
put on
gosh.
the thing that I was like 15 hours and lower. And Al still gave me a 95 on it.
That's what I'm talking about.
Like he texted me what's today? Wednesday?
Yeah.
And he texted me Monday. He's like, hey, how many hours are you at? Midterm evaluations are due. And I said 10, and I think I rounded up for that. I think I was close to like 8. But and I look at the grade book, gave it 95. I was like, alright, cool. And like the supervisor's like Christina Smith, and like
Oh, yeah.
she gave me 100. We had to like fill out like a progress report, and so like, I had to put on there too. She gave me 100 for it, and she put in like the comments thing. She's like, just continue to keep working on
I like
hours,
her.
because I told her I was like I know I don't have many hours, but I had to miss a couple of games because of like scheduling conflicts, and like I'm gonna be working like all the games at the end of this until the end of this semester.
She's cool. I like her.
Yeah, I had her for a journalism class last year.
Yeah, she's my advisor or my mentor.
Oh really?
I haven't gone to her yet. Though.
Yeah, literally all you have to do for stuff like for her class or anything is like as long as you have like a good reason, like go talk to her and like she will give you extensions and stuff like on papers and whatever you gotta do.
It's not like a big, it's not like one big thing. Like
Every day.
We got thunder out here.
Uh-oh.
apparently Ellen. Yeah, JoJo's gonna want to know.
I mean, I was preaching it last year. I was like, yo, we should go to hell for Oktoberfest. It's like Georgia's German.
Yeah.
God, I wish that we.
I remember we used to go 2 minute Helen like in middle school and like high school.
It's rough.
But I mean, you're not like you still have to pay for the beer. I'm ready for this thing to start.
Yeah, for real.
Just getting anxious now.
That's what we need. We need like walkie-talkie systems.
Oh, that's what we used to have.
Walkie-talkies.
I don't know why we don't.
No, that's how we
this
used to
is
do
so much
walkie-talkies
easier.
like before we had the headsets.
Well, I mean, the headsets are useful. I'm talking about for like when you came down there.
Oh yeah.
Hey, yeah, what the fuck's going on?
Or even just have one person with a headset down there.
You're like instant tickle. You have one up in the box.
That's what like freshman, sophomore year, like we literally had walkie-talkies and like sometimes the walkie-talkies wouldn't work, so we'd literally be communicating like through the group me about stuff. So like was everyone running
I guess that's
TriCaster?
what we do now.
Yeah. Like whoever's running TriCaster, if they need like something on the camera, it's like do something different, they just like text them or like add them, be like, hey, like can you fix the white balance on this or something?
We're probably gonna go live at like 5 or 4 to the camera people.
7 to 5 or something?
5.
Oh,
5 minutes. At 5 minutes.
okay. Okay. Imagine if they posted not doing this for like school or something. Okay, gotcha.
No, there's several others.
Okay, gotcha.
Anthony's doing coach.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
A lot of
Just
people.
wondering, I'm like, am I going to
I just didn't sign up for practicing time.
Gotcha.
I was supposed to do it for my practicum, but they ran out of positions.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was gonna do PR. And I was like, no, I only have video, and I'm like, I'll figure it out.
Yeah. team.
Should have heard Colin Cowherd's best quarterback duos. Obviously, Tom Brady, but Rodgers and LaFleur up there. Yeah, Derek Carr and Brady. He said Dak and Jason Garrett are pretty well.
Well, I think it's hilarious that how quickly people like to shit on the Cowboys.
Because they played three shitty teams.
Weeks playing shitty teams.
And then they played two real teams and
And now
got their ass kicked.
the Cowboys suck.
Got traded Dak a couple weeks ago. Before they started. I don't know. I still remember it was getting traded.
Did you hear Booger on Monday Night Football say that Russell Wilson should win the MVP right as of right now?
I'm with it.
I'll say
All I know is after last week, I am targeting any offensive player playing the Falcons.
Yeah. Will Fuller.
I picked up Will Fuller. I started Will Fuller last week.
Yeah, I had him on my bench. Get a nice 54.
That offsets my trade for Antonio Brown. I traded for
Yikes.
AD.
Jackson, you have other batteries charging?
Yeah, I tweeted last week.
You have other batteries
I'm
charging
picking
now?
up every Texans player and starting them. I did, and I won.
One other.
That's what
Alright, and that
someone
one's-
asked me. They were like, should I
that
start
one's
Matt
wired.
Ryan or Kyler Murray this week? I was like,
Kyler.
he was like, I said, who are the Falcons playing this week? I was like, the Cardinals. I was like, oh, started Matt Ryan, obviously. And I was like, wait a second. That means the Cardinals are playing the Falcons.
Yeah.
Never mind, start
Well,
Kyler.
they were playing the Falcons. I can't believe
That's-
it.
I mean, I'll switch out with you. Yeah.
How's life?
It's going.
Good.
You?
Good. Everyone here says that. They're like, it's going. I'm like,
It is.
it's great.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't scheduled either.
Well, I'm
Like,
glad
you
it's
just told me to
going.
show up, so.
Yeah. Nice.
I mean, if you want to just do it for like first half, and then like, I'll take over after.
You don't even do anything?
I texted Sean. He told me to text Thompson. Thompson not here.
These are basketball guys or what?
Yeah, I would assume so.
I'm just
I don't know. We
happy.
got like 9 freshmen on the team.
Yeah, I know a few of them in high school.
That looks really funny.
I'm just happy I'm at 5'10" right now.
There you go.
Because it was like,
I wish.
I was 5'9" for like a couple years, and then like finally I'm like 5'10". It's like,
Yeah.
you'll get there.
I would say I'm like
You're gonna
5'6" on a good day.
Yeah.
Maybe 5'7".
Just say 5'11". You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just round up. Since I'm like
Round up.
5'6", I'm like, oh yeah,
Alright,
I'm
if
6
y'all want to go to
foot.
your camera.
You won't get away with 6 feet. But 5'11",
Yeah.
I'll
Maybe
give
there's a good
I'll give
chance.
it to you. Because if you're 5'11", then I'm like 6'5".
There you go.
So
Y'all want to go to your
yeah, I'm good with that. It's all relative.
where are you going there?
Oh.
Not even. Practicum hours.
Camera center.
Tori, and she'll get you signed up. All you got to do is guess who's going to score the first goal for Georgia College today. If you're right, you can be a winner of a free sandwich at Stack Sandwiches and More on North Columbia Street here in Milledgeville. We also do have the Make-A-Wish roll of the dice. That'll come at halftime. Half the money always goes to the Make-A-Wish Foundation, the Division II philanthropy.
Hello and welcome into the Bobcat Broadcast Network. I'm Luke Winston. Thank you all for tuning in. We've got 45 minutes on the clock. We're starting a bit late here today. Due to some transportation issues, we had a 15-minute delay in our game start time, but we are set now at 7:15 p.m. Eastern Time for a kickoff between the Georgia College Bobcats here in Milledgeville on West Campus of Georgia College and State University, as they will be hosting Francis Marion University and the Patriots traveling in from South Carolina. One thing you'll notice on the field, we've got semicolons marking Mental Health Awareness Week here at Georgia College and State University. Balls placed at the newly painted Georgia College logo at midfield. Both teams are huddled and set to play. Coming in just to give you some notes and some basics here for Francis Marion, the visiting team. Their best player, at least offensively, Dale McQueen. She has 8 games started, 8 points in those games. She is her team's leading scorer with 4 goals, her team's best finisher to this point this season. Now for Georgia College, their best player up top, Cassie Balzano, their best finisher, their points leader with 13. She has 6 goals and 1 assist on the year. In wins, she has been huge for Georgia College in the team's 2 wins. She scored 4 goals and had 1 assist. 9 of her 13 points have come in games which Georgia College has won. Now it's kicked off for Georgia College, and we are set to play. In terms of our starters here, first off for Francis Marion, their goalkeeper, Rachel Hinnenkamp. Their other 10 players, Megan Mizuraka, Kylie Barr, Jessica Garnett, Dale McQueen, Michaela Chavez, Rihanna Orello, Sierra Cartano, Emma Hall, Maggie Cross, and Sarah Mall. Georgia College possessing with Becca Morris in the midfield. Now for their starters, Georgia College keeping the same 11 they have had all year with one exception. Instead of Brooke Adams in the starting lineup, they have Sophia Bonser stepping in. Bonser and Adams have split time the past few games for GC. But to give you the lineup for Georgia College, Summer Ligon, Aaron Ferris, Kai Jeffries, Cassie Balzano, Sophia Bonser, Becca Morris, Alyssa Bergamini, Lydia Atkinson, Kayla Ruiz, Kia Jai Jacobs, and the freshman in goal, Kate Richardson. Ball is intercepted by the Patriots. I'll try to get things going offensively. They haven't been the strongest offensive team this year, only 8 goals scored in 8 games. Morris for Georgia College, surveying and playing a long ball intended for Bergamini on the near side. Alyssa Bergamini lets her teammates settle into the area. 1-2 with Balzano. Ball goes far post, intended for Jacobs. Out of bounds, and now we'll get a goal kick from Rachel Hinnenkamp. She is from Wake Forest, North Carolina, a 5'8" sophomore. She's a returning starter. One thing that's interesting about her, she was her team's MVP a season ago. Francis Marion didn't have a great record last year. Off the top of my head, I believe it's 5-10-1 that they were, but she helped keep them in games. Their defense wasn't great, so she had a lot of save opportunities. Made the most of those, had 99 saves a year ago. One of the top in the Peach Belt Conference. Jacobs working on the right sideline. Ball out of bounds. Georgia College will get a throw in. Summer Ligon getting some of her first touches on the ball. Will sail out of bounds. We'll have another goal kick ahead.
Goal kick travels about 50 yards. Have a really good crowd here on a Wednesday night here at Bobcat Stadium. We've got most, if not all, of the men's basketball team out here. A lot of support from fellow Georgia College athletes on some other teams as well that have come. GC possessing, they are wearing the white, going from right to left. The Patriots obviously going from left to right. Bobcats moving it around up top. Balzano tried to get it to Bergamini, but it's saved or picked up by Hinnenkamp. Throw in for the Patriots. Ball travels out of bounds. Georgia College will send Aaron Ferris up to take a throw in. Jacobs volleys it back to Ferris. Plays it long, touched by Bergamini. Here's Cassie Balzano sliding it over to Becca Morris. Morris fires a shot with her left foot. It was accurate, but picked up by Hinnenkamp. Ball need ahead by Barr, but now will be controlled by Georgia College as we have a free kick to come after that play. The 50-50 ball had a violation on the Patriots. Kayla Ruiz puts the ball down right almost dead on the midfield line. She had 2 goals in the most recent matchup between these two teams in 2018. Georgia College won 5-1. Ruiz, player of the match. Kai Jeffrey is passing it back for the Bobcats. They've had a lot of recent success playing Francis Marion. They're 3-0. They've outscored 3-0 in the past 3 matchups. They've outscored Francis Marion 14-2 in those games. And Francis Marion used to be a Division I team from 2005 to 2016. They played at the highest level. Then they moved back down to Division II in 2016, and as I mentioned, since then Georgia College has dominated the series. Ball sails out of bounds, and we'll get another throw in from Kayla Ruiz. Ruiz sending it into the middle. Bonser with a nice tackle in the midfield, showing why she's starting now. Ligon back to Jeffries. Aaron Ferris getting involved in the attack, moving down the right sideline. We're 7 minutes in. The ball comes into Jacobs inside the 18. It's knocked away. Ball sent long, intended for Barr. Ruiz making a nice play. The Bobcats have had most of the possession thus far. The ball rolls out of bounds. Throw in for the Patriots. Ball sent into the 18-yard box by Francis Marion. Richardson keeps it at her feet. Now the ball's over to Ruiz. Ruiz working on Barr. Now Ferris again looking to make another run. She instead plays a long ball. Hinnenkamp will corral it. Georgia College has come out with a nice level of intensity. Only 1 shot put on thus far, but we'll see that number rise a lot if they continue the energy that they've come out with here, playing at home. Like I mentioned, they've controlled a lot of the possession. They're getting close to generating the opportunities. They haven't been very clinical in the final third yet, but obviously they're just getting settled into the game. As they get more settled in, I think offensively they're setting the tone to have a really good night. Ball comes in long. Hall running for it. Jeffries will take it away. Good recovery by the all-conference defender. Bonser plays it over to Jeffries. She couldn't quite handle it. It goes out of bounds, and now we've got a throw in for Francis Marion.
Hey, we scored.
Balzano dribbling on the sideline. Georgia College throw in. Scoreless 9 minutes in. Kayla Ruiz on the left sideline. She looks around. Now Balzano tried to flick it on. Barr will pass it over to McQueen. Good tackle from Jacobs. Jacobs to Morris. Good passing, but Morris a bit strong on that final ball, trying to find one of Bergamini or Balzano, who are both in the area. Hennenkamp punts it away. Jacobs with a nice effort, keeping it in on the sideline.
Like, I've seen him agitate, like, straight up. I've never seen him set,
10 minutes into the match, Francis Marion gaining a bit of momentum here. Starting to move forward offensively. They've got a throw in near midfield. Barr heads it for Francis Marion. Ruiz to Bonser in the midfield. Kai Jeffries making a run offensively. Penetrating a few gaps. Her pass was picked off. But Georgia College has earned a throw in. Alyssa Bergamini takes it. Throwing it long for Jacobs, who barely stays on sides. And now tries to play it towards the middle. Ruiz to Bergamini. Good touch. The ball sent way wide of the post. Hennenkamp will let it go out of bounds. And now we've got a goal kick again for Francis Marion. Good idea from Bergamini, just didn't have her teammates on the same page there, it didn't look like. But Alyssa and Alexis Bergamini, two sisters from Connecticut, have been very good offensively for Georgia College on the wings. Been a really good compliment to Balzano, who's been thus far the team's best player, and now a two-time Bobcat Athlete of the Week. Their speed on the wing combined with Balzano's finishing has really been a good combination for Georgia College. It's helped them offensively start to turn things around a little bit. Against Georgia Southwestern on Saturday, GC put up 3 goals for the second time in the past couple of weeks. Got their second win as well. But all 3 goals were scored by Cassie Balzano. She was assisted by 3 players. Erin Ferris had 1. Ryan Smith had an assist on the first goal, which was her first career assist. Also Alyssa Bergamini, who I've been talking about, assisted Balzano. Jacobs plays it to Bergamini. She's got time on the left side. Now GC moving numbers forward. Balzano poked it out to Ferris on the sideline. Good move from Erin Ferris. The ball finds its way back into Bergamini. Balzano fires a shot left of the post. Nearly a third of the way into the first half. Hennenkamp to take the goal kick. Francis Marion comes in with a 3-4-1 overall record. They're not off to a great start. That's actually something both teams have in common here. Georgia College 2-5-1 at the moment. They started 0-4. Since then, they have been much better. 2-1-2 in their past 5 games. Bergamini plays it towards the center of the 18. The ball trickles back out to Ruiz. Morris playing to Bergamini. It's laid off to Ruiz, but Alyssa Bergamini called offsides first. We will have a free kick for Francis Marion. But Georgia College is on a good streak. 2-1-2 in their past 5 games. For Francis Marion, they're 0-3 in their past 3 games. Those games have not been pretty either. They have been outscored 9-0. All 3 of those games have been conference games, so Francis Marion is currently sitting at the bottom of the Peach Belt standings. Georgia College somewhere in the middle of the pack at this point with a 1-1-1 record in conference play. But for Francis Marion, they're looking to turn things around here, but Georgia College has definitely been moving the ball well. Ferris loses possession. It's kicked out of bounds. Quick throw in. Balzano to Ferris. Ferris has been very involved in the attack early. I would not expect that to change either. It's a very good thing when you can get your outside backs involved. Ruiz has been involved, both more so than what I've seen in the past. The ball kicked long. Francis Marion was looking for Barr up top. Richardson elects to keep it on the ground again.
They said that they were like banning the tomahawk. They didn't have like a phone tomahawk dog for today's game. He just comes out there with like.
I think Richardson's composure as a freshman has been impressive for sure throughout the year, just having to be put in at the Division II level, coming straight out of high school. Okay, you've got to start right here, right now. She's done it all year long, started every game, one of the top in the Peach Belt Conference in saves. Her goals allowed average is pretty solid as well. Yeah, she's been very composed. I think it's been impressive for sure. Bergamini loops it over to Ferris on the far side. Bit of a risky ball, but no harm, no foul. Atkinson sends it down the right side for Balzano. Good pass from her. Jacobs settling it in the midfield. Jacobs makes a nice move. She has the opportunity to center the ball. It's kicked away. There's 16 minutes in, tied 0-0. Bonser beats Barr to the ball. Ferris chops it out of bounds. Throw in for Francis Marion. Georgia College winning that ball away. Bergamini is beat out there. Now Francis Marion trying to work offensively on the right side. Jeffries clears it ahead. The Patriots get it back. Mezaraka trying to slide it through for Barr. Ruiz shields it out of bounds, and now Richardson will take a goal kick.
Baker got -2 fantasy points this past week, and so many people lost because of it. They're like, oh, I'll boost like the point differential.
Richardson taking the goal kick. It's flicked on by Morris right at the feet of Balzano. Morris going left. McQueen got a bit physical there. Morris drops the ball. She'll head in near the 18-yard box. Now Georgia College will be taking a free kick. Bonser jogs over. The kick will be hers. Bonser sending it in with her left foot. Headed away. Good clearance, well defended by Francis Marion. That set piece was put in a pretty good spot there by Bonser. But FMU did a very nice job defending it, winning the ball through the air. Georgia College does possess.
Thursday night football game week 2 against the Bugs, where he could not throw.
Jeffries slides it back. Out of bounds, throw in for Ruiz. Turnover, Patriots working with it in the midfield. Bonser gets nutmegged, shot fired on by Aurello. Richardson's there to get it. It was a good move by Aurello. Didn't have enough length on her shot to make up for the far distance away, the long distance. Jacobs playing it to Ligon. Ruiz making a nice run down the left side. Pass in to Belzano, back out to Ruiz. Her service with the left foot into Jacobs. Jacobs lays it off right at the top of the 18, and Francis Marion clears it away. It will set up Georgia College's first corner of the match. Jacobs had a good opportunity there. Her back was to the goal, so she didn't have much of a chance to shoot. So she laid it off, trying to put it into a great spot for her teammates, but no one was there. Francis Marion quickly cleared that ball away, and now a corner kick here for Georgia College. Bergamini takes it low. Jacobs touches it out. Bergamini serves it a second time. For the far post, Morris heads it. Hennenkamp now 20 minutes in, surveys. She'll look to punt. Aurello has it intercepted by Atkinson of Georgia College. Atkinson tries to distribute quickly. Francis Marion now on the far side. Ball out of bounds off of Ligon. Patriots will throw it in again. One thing that I like to do heading into games to try to get a sense of Georgia College's opponent is look at the common opponents between the two teams. Both teams have played North Georgia and Lander. Against North Georgia, Francis Marion lost 3-0 on the road. Georgia College lost 4-0 at home. The thing to me that was interesting was the Lander matchup between the two teams. Georgia College tied Lander 1-1 at home. Lander beat Francis Marion 5-0. Bergamini putting it in with her left foot. Jacobs is in the area. She turns. Jacobs still with the ball, puts it in with her left foot. Balzano is there. Jacobs fires, and it's saved by Hennenkamp. Well, nice effort from Jacobs. Somehow held on to that ball for a long enough time to give her team a very good chance offensively to put something in the back of the net to open the scoring here tonight. But nothing to come of that possession from Georgia College. It's a good job by Bergamini also feeding the ball into Jacobs. No handball called because advantage will be played to Georgia College. If Bergamini didn't get to that ball, we would have had a free kick for GC. But instead we play on. 22 minutes and 35 seconds to go in the first half of action. Morris with possession. Ligon taking space. Now Ferris 20 yards away from goal. Tries to move through two defenders, has it taken away. Ligon is able to keep Georgia College at the edge of their attacking third. Bergamini serves it inside the 18. Will be knocked away by Francis Marion. Well, chipped out of bounds. Throw in for Ferris. Bobcats tossing it in at midfield. Bergamini trying to get a 1-2 there with Balzano. FMU moving it around their back line. Jacobs with a good stop. Ruiz for the Bobcats. Pass intercepted by Garrett. Or Garnett, I should say. Francis Marion on the left. Bergamini pushed over one of the Patriots. Free kick now for FMU on the left side. And a Capra was the player fouled on the play. Morris puts herself in a good position to head it. Jacobs clears it. Called Jacobs' name a lot. She's put together a good game thus far. About nearing the 2/3 mark in the first half, 2/3 of the way through. Balzano in a foot race for Georgia College. Ball's out on her. Hinnenkamp will have a goal kick.
Into the match for Francis Marion, number 9, Xenia Nava.
Now into the match for Francis Marion, number 9, Xenia Nava. She's a freshman, one of the most interesting players on their team. From what I read about her, she was the football kicker for her school. She cheered for 11 years, and she's a black belt in karate and taekwondo. I'm not sure if you get much more athletic than she is. And to be playing in the Division II level as a freshman as well is also very impressive. Watch out for her. Just thought that was interesting coming across her interesting fact on her bio. Some players will talk about how they have a picture with maybe a Michael Phelps or Peyton Manning or something like that. But no, that's much different. Black belt in karate and taekwondo. Among her other accomplishments, being a kicker, playing soccer, that all makes sense. So I think we can come to the conclusion that without even seeing her take a kick yet in the game, she does have a strong leg. So we'll be watching that as we go. The ball chipped in by Garnett. It's picked up by Richardson, the Bobcats goalkeeper. Georgia College in goal got Haley Titus, freshman, some reps as well. Got her some time, a few saves as well, a few shots put on her against Georgia Southwestern and Georgia College's 3-0 win on Saturday. In goal, they have the 2 freshmen, that duo. We might see Titus today, depending on how things go for Georgia College. Those two are the goalkeeping duo of the future for sure. They both have already looked good. Now we'll have another substitution here. Francis Marion with under 7.5 minutes brings in a sub at the left mid position, it looks like. Can't tell who the number is yet. Jacobs to Morris. Becca Morris launches Georgia College into their attack. The ball sent way out of bounds there by Garnett. Ruiz with 16 minutes and 40 seconds in, counting to go here in the first half. Balzano, a great turn, right-footed shot, bounces right in front of Hinnenkamp. She picks it up and will look to punt it away here. Atkinson volleys the punt. Headed out of bounds by Mall. Ruiz crossing midfield. Sprinting ahead, a nice scissors move. Ruiz controls it again. Ruiz to Morris, nice 1-2, but offsides on Kayla Ruiz. Just ahead of the Francis Marion back line. The rule being that you can't be behind their last defender when you get the ball. Francis Marion will have a free kick deep in their own half. 2/3 of the way through the opening half. Jacobs fighting for it. Fouls on her. Free kick now for Hall. Not for Hall. She'll jog in. Francis Marion obviously moving their players up here for the free kick, trying to get this ball inside the 18-yard box and make things dangerous. They only have one shot on goal thus far compared to the Bobcats' 5. The free kick for FMU. Sent in by Chavez right at the edge of the 6-yard box, but a foul called. Push on Francis Marion. Free kick coming right in the area that a goal kick would. Maybe 7 or 8 yards away from goal. It's flicked on by Becca Morris thus far in the game. Have had a good bit of action. The ball's moved a lot. You haven't had the type of soccer game where it's a bit stagnant between the two teams, where the ball's kind of sitting with one team or the other. They're kind of possessing, moving things around slowly. This game has been fast, and I think partially due to the fact that both teams have been able to transition into their attacking third from their defense very well. Shot put on by Mizuraka. Richardson does well to catch it. But you've had the type of game that's been back and forth, both teams transitioning quickly, transitioning fairly well. The only thing you're lacking has been the final product. There hasn't been a ton of shots from either team, only 7 between the two teams combined, but that's one note I had coming in on finishing. Georgia College finishing 7% of their shots as a team. 8% of their shots. Francis Marion finishing 7%. Usually you want to be around 13% or 14% on your finishing. Both teams have some work to do in those areas. Georgia College has shown some encouraging signs there recently. Not so much for Francis Marion. They've been shut out 3 straight games. But that is something whoever finishes better obviously will win the game. It is how soccer works. If you finish, if you score more, you will win. But for these teams, that's been probably the main reason they haven't been winning. And I pinpoint that because both teams are putting shots on, but putting shots on frame as well. They've been accurate. They've been generating opportunities. They've both had advantages in possession. But the finishing has just been that final component they haven't really had. Ball played ahead for Jacobs on the left side. It's chipped in and headed away. It was a really nice ball played in from Jacobs, but a better defensive play. Becca Morris with her left foot, crossed hard. Bergamini got her head on it, but not enough. It's one of Georgia College's best opportunities we've seen right there. Now 11 minutes and 25 seconds to go. Jacobs has put forth a valiant effort thus far. She will come out. Alexis Bergamini, sister of Alyssa, has come in. So we'll get that duo up top. Those two providing a lot of pace with Balzano. For Jacobs, she's provided everything. She's been great thus far tonight. Hasn't shown up on the stat sheet, but with the eye test and with what you've seen and heard from our broadcast, she's had a great game. Bergamini lays it off to Morris, and she blasts it way over the bar. 10 minutes and 48 seconds remain in the first half. GC picking up some momentum here. But Kia Jai Jacobs, who scored her first career goal on September 18th against North Greenville University, has put together, I'd say probably the second best performance I've seen from her thus far. And I'm sure there's more to come. I'm sure she'll get more minutes as well as we get into the second half. But it looks like for the remaining 10, she will sit. Alexis Bergamini will get some time. There is Alexis Bergamini on the ball. Balzano to Morris, and now Bergamini had it again, but we have a foul called. Looked like a push on Georgia College. 9:55 to go in the first half. Morris intercepting the kick. Back to Ruiz. Bergamini to Balzano. Now the ball comes up top. Nava had a chance at it for the Patriots, but now Ferris takes it down the right side. Throw in for Georgia College. Bergamini pushed over from behind. GC will now have a free kick on the right side. They're about 40 yards away from goal. Under 9 minutes to play. Ferris will take it. Now Ferris and Summer Ligon will switch places. Ligon to take the free kick. Ferris will head towards the top of the 18. Francis Marion moving things ahead with the ball taken away there. Bonser working in the midfield, but the ball was knocked away, and we'll go back to Richardson of Georgia College. McQueen heads it over on the near side. Mizuraka passes it back. The ball is sent in. Now cleared out on the near side. Mizuraka will take a throw in.
All right, we got substitutions on both sides. For Francis Marion first, it's number 6,
Carly Gauthier coming in for Francis Marion.
Adams.
And Brooke Adams will come in for Sophia Bonser for Georgia College. For GC, they've been switching those two. Brooke Adams started the first 7, I believe, games of the season before Bonser got her first start of the year. Now we're here in game number 10 for Georgia College. They've won 2 thus far, looking for their third. They've tied a couple. They've had all different kinds of situations this year. 2 lightning delays of about 2 hours. We've had 2 double overtime games that both have ended in a tie for Georgia College. Nava passes it ahead. Knocked out on the far side by Nava. Into the corner. Atkinson hits it away. Francis Marion has numbers offensively. Ball cleared high for Georgia College. On some of those plays when Francis Marion pushes 9 or so players forward, GC has done this as well. Can lead to a really good counterattack opportunity for the opposing team. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw at least 1 or 2 really good ones here tonight. Just because of the way both teams push forward, push really far forward, and sometimes there's a gap in between the midfield and the 2 or 3 players that stay behind on the back line. Sometimes you'll see that with some teams taking more of a risk than others. Sometimes it depends on game by game, but both teams have been launching a lot of numbers forward. More so Francis Marion. That leads me to one thing I have liked from Georgia College. I noted it early, but their outside backs have been involved. Ruiz and Ferris offensively have been up and getting towards the goal all game long. Ball out off of Georgia College. 5.5 minutes to play in the first half. Jeffries to Bergamini. Now Ferris has tons of space on the right side. A long ball from McQueen. On the left side, shielded out well by Atkinson of Georgia College. And now she'll take the throw in. Nava in the left corner. Sending it into the box and headed away by Georgia College. They're looking for Mezzaraka on the far post, but now Alexis Bergamini will lay it off. Ferris commits a foul. 4:05 to go. Francis Marion will get the opportunity to take a free kick and try to get a shot on goal here. They have been outshot 6-3 thus far. Ball sent towards the top of the 18 by FMU. Adams heads it away for Georgia College. Bergamini kicked it long. Francis Marion has it on their back line. Headed away by Atkinson. For Francis Marion, they are playing their second team nicknamed the Bobcats this season. They played Lise McRae. They're the Bobcats as well. They won that game in their first match of the season. I'll try to do likewise here, but we're scoreless here, 3 minutes away from the end of the first half. Ruiz to Bergamini. Bergamini tried to fire a shot from long range. It was blocked. It was Cartano who blocked that shot. Kai Jeffries for Georgia College touches it out of bounds after winning the ball. Throw in here from Faith Allen. Kicked away by Atkinson. Morris, a good turn in the midfield. Hennenkamp drives the ball away. Bergamini to Morris, 2 minutes to play. Wonderful ball played in for Ruiz. Ruiz to the top of the 18. Hennenkamp will pick it up. 92 seconds left in the first half. Shot from Adams, wide right. Now, sophomore goalkeeper Rachel Hinnenkamp, who started every game last year as a freshman, will take the goal kick. She has over 100 career saves, had 99 last year, and the opener of this season for Francis Marion, she had 4 saves, which got her over 100 in her career. As a sophomore, already one of the top in Francis Marion history in terms of career saves. Richardson kicks the ball about 60 yards away. Adams to Ferris. 30 seconds left. Ball kicked over to Nava on the left side. Balzano fires with the right foot. It's about 15 yards to the left of the goal as it crosses the line and goes out of bounds. We'll have a goal kick. For Balzano, look for her to continue to be aggressive. She's coming off of an excellent game where she scored a hat trick.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Now that will conclude the first half of play. Georgia College has outshot Francis Marion 9-3, but none of those 12 combined shots have resulted in a goal. We head into the half scoreless. Thank you all for tuning in on the Bobcat Broadcast Network. I'm Luke Winstall, flying solo. I'm Luke Winstall. She was behind Francis Marion's last defender on the play just by a step or so, but that's enough to get the call. And Hennenkamp now fires it away. Francis Marion advancing. Ball played on the near side. Over to Capra. She tries to get a 1-2. Now Bergamini has it for Georgia College. And a note, a halftime substitution. Kia Jai Jacobs obviously is back into the game. Now the ball is played for Balzano, but she's called offsides again for the second time in the first 4 minutes here of the second half. Balzano again was going to have another great shot, but just a little bit behind the back line. We'll have a free kick here taken by Chavez.
Okay, my bad. I figured. I got you.
Here's Balzano turning into space, playing it down the line. Kayla Ruiz in for Bergamini. Bergamini tries to slide it in with her left foot. It's kicked away. Good recovery from Francis Marion on the play. GC will kick it out of bounds. Well, for Georgia College, they were held scoreless in the first half. In terms of a key to the game for them, it's their goal differential overall. I mean, finishing is the key, but their goal differential thus far is -4. One note that I do have there that I thought was something interesting that I could add. Against ranked teams, Georgia College has been outscored 7-2 this year. They're 0-2 against top 25s. They played North Georgia. They played Lincoln Memorial. North Georgia was number 20 at the time the two teams met. Lincoln Memorial number 14 when the two teams played here in the Bobcat shootout. Both of those games have been at home, but if you take out the games that Georgia College has played a top 25 team, those two matches, then you get a +1 goal differential and a much better record, 2-3-2 for Georgia College. They've been very competitive at minimum, and what a save made by Hennenkamp. Balzano fired a shot in. Hennenkamp juggled it and just barely kept it off the line. Bonser heads it out towards the left side. But to finish my point for Georgia College, they've been at minimum very competitive, winning or tying 4 of their 7 games against non-ranked opponents. So against everyone that's not an outlier, anyone that's not at the very, very highest part or point in the section of Division II soccer, outside of that, Georgia College has done well. I think it shows that they can come to a good finish here despite starting 0-4 this season and struggling a bit in non-conference play, especially to open the year. They definitely have first off improved since then as a team, and I think tonight makes that very clear. But second off, have a good chance to be at worst middle of the pack in the Peach Belt Conference, at worst a 5 or 6 seed, at best probably a 3 or 4. So they've shown they're not quite at the point where they can beat the Columbus States and North Georgias of the world. Balzano tripped up, no call. The ball comes over on the near side to Capra. Bergamini passing it back to Bonser. We're 7 minutes in here to the second half. It's hooked over to Alyssa Bergamini. Balzano has loads of space. Now it's played in for Jacobs. She's on sides, hits it with her right foot, and it's in. Georgia College taking a 1-0 lead, opening the scoring here about 52 minutes in. Kia Jai Jacobs, her second career goal, second of the year, and second in the past month.
Jacobs, the assist to number 16, Cassie Balzano.
Cassie Balzano gets the assist. That is her 14th points of the year. But for Kia Jai Jeffries, she is Georgia College's assist leader with 2 assists. Now she has 2 goals to match it. in terms of points. Now she stands at 6. Right up there now for second on the team, tied with Alyssa Bergamini. Bergamini has the same total, 2 goals, 2 points, or 2 assists, for a total of 6 points. Jeffries clears the ball. Copper got a touch on it. Now Orello trying to serve it. But for Jacobs, that's big for her, playing as a forward for Georgia College. But in the point that I was making before that play, as the corner kick comes in for Francis Marion, talking about Georgia College's 0-4 start that I mentioned. The biggest difference between the 0-4 start and what we've had now, where Georgia College has been 2-1-2 in their past 5 games. The biggest difference obviously has been offense. They've been scoring a lot more. Instead of the .75 goals per game, they've gone up in the 1.5-ish goals per game in that area. So that's been the biggest difference offensively, but I think they've adjusted or gotten a lot more adjusted to new head coach Tina Gallagher. I know they didn't have a ton of time in the offseason to really come together and mesh under who would be their new head coach. Now they had that time. It was a rough patch at the beginning, but I think it also is a credit to the team mentally and what they've been able to do, sticking together to pull out of that 0-4 slump, if you will, to begin the year and now get to where they are now, where they're looking to get a winning record in conference play. Should they win today, they do lead 1-0, but we've got tons of time left. Should they win today, they move to 2-1-1 in conference play, and that moves them up obviously much higher in the standings to have a winning record in conference. To be specific, a 2-1-1 record would move them into the top 4, at least at this point. There are several other games going on, several teams playing here today and this week. A note for Georgia College, they will have their next home game on Wednesday. Got a foul called here, and Francis Marion getting a free kick about 45 yards away from the goal line. Well, for any Braves fans, I apologize. Sorry you're disappointed, but Georgia College here working hard to not disappoint you on the soccer field tonight. Ball hooked in, wide of the left post. Georgia College leads 1-0, so if you're a Bobcats fan, maybe at least one of your teams can pull out a win today. Richardson will take the goal kick for the Bobcats. But the Braves game has gone final, 13-1 in Game 5. Goal kick over the head of both the Bobcats and the Francis Marion Patriots, who had one player in the area. The foul is called on Aaron Ferris, or no, it's called on FMU. It's on number 13, Orello. Rihanna Orello. Ferris will get the free kick after being pushed over. 10 minutes into the second half here. Bobcats lead 1-0. Ball flicked into Balzano. Bonser turning in the midfield. Trying to send one long for Balzano. Bergamini charging ahead, chips the keeper, but it goes over the woodwork. It's off the hand of Hinnenkamp, but we will have a corner kick ahead for Georgia College. Their first corner of the game. Second corner between the two teams combined. Morris jogs over to take it. She's taken the majority, almost all, if not all, of the corner kicks for the Bobcats this season. Comes into the 6-yard box. Balzano crashed it back post, but couldn't get her head on it. It will be now a goal kick for Hinnenkamp. Camp with the goal kick. Francis Marion looking to turn things around. They won 3 of their first 4 games. They're coming in on a 3-game losing streak here. They have a 3-4-1 overall record. They've been to double overtime twice as well, alongside Georgia College, who's also been to double OT 2 times. But Francis Marion looking to turn it around. Balzano sends a shot from long range, picked up by Camp. 32-17 to go in the game. One reason, though, or one thought on Francis Marion's losing record, they've had a fairly away-heavy schedule. 60% of their games to this point have come on the road. That doesn't always help. So as they get more games on their home turf, nice ball into the box. Richardson comes out, and we have a corner kick ahead. Ball's out off of Georgia College. Dangerous play there, but good job by the freshman goalkeeper touching it out of bounds. But I would think for Francis Marion, as they get more home games on their schedule, especially in conference play, that can help translate to more wins. 31 minutes and 25 seconds remain. Corner kick to come, second of the game for FMU.
Into the match for Francis Marion, number 17, Maggie Cross. Number 5, Faith Allen.
Maggie Cross and Faith Allen coming into the game for Francis Marion. 31 minutes remain in the half. Ball kicked in, wide of the right post, and we'll have a goal kick for Georgia College. For GC, when you look at all their splits, they've definitely had some when you look at all the different types, home and away and everything else from there, but their home and away win-loss record actually has been near identical, which is something you don't always see. Got one win at home, one win on the road, a few losses at home, a few on the road. One tie at home, one tie on the road. Very split. We haven't seen much of a difference in how the team plays at home versus when they're traveling. So to me, that's interesting. You don't always see that, especially a lot of the teams in the Peach Belt Conference have a fairly strong correlation with home wins in terms of their total wins category, which is what you would expect. Richardson will punt it away. We're 2/3 of the way through the second half here. We're also 2/3 of the way through the game. 60 minutes in. Pushed out on the far sideline. Ruiz now passes it off. Balzano charging ahead, trying to send it in for Bergamini, but it's broken up. It's good positioning from the center back of Francis Marion. Chavez. She's been very solid in the back all day. Becca Morris sending it into the 18, headed by Bergamini, just left of the woodwork. Another shot for Georgia College, now tripling the total of Francis Marion. 15 shots compared to Francis Marion's 5. GC has already had 6 shots in the second half. They had 9 in the first. Now, if you think that's good, against Georgia Southwestern, Georgia College had 30 shots, 11 of which were on goal. That's almost unheard of. Great pass ahead. It was Jacobs who passed it. Balzano now to Bergamini, who lays it off for Summer Ligon. Ligon shoots it with her left foot, but right into the arms of Camp. And Georgia College had an offensive breakout against Georgia Southwestern. In conference play, they've been averaging 15 shots a game, far more than non-conference play when it was around 11 or 12. And also there's been a nice difference in terms of shots on goal compared to shots. And in conference play, Georgia College obviously has been more successful than they were in the non-conference play, partially or mostly because of their uptick in offense. They've generated more opportunities. Their finishing percentage has gone up a little bit in conference play, but because they've had more opportunities, obviously that leads to more goals. When you look at the statistics for Georgia College, It's all pretty self-explanatory in terms of the trends. The more shots they get, the more wins, as you would expect. So here with 15 shots, or 16 shots now, according to the scoreboard. Jacobs tripped up from behind. With 16 shots, I don't believe they've lost a game in which they've had this many shots. Ligon puts the ball down right at midfield. Free kick taken by Jeffries. Knocked ahead by Ferris and picked up by Hennenkamp again. 26:53 to go in the second half. Ball punted away. Francis Marion volleys it. Becca Moore is taking her time, tried to send it across the field, but it's broken up there. Balzano flipping around. Ruiz crashes in. Ruiz trying to make a move. The ball trickles away. And slid over to Erin Ferris. She sprints forward, puts on a shot. Hennenkamp will corral it. It's now 17 shots for Georgia College. Another one on frame coming off the foot of their right back. Substitution here for Francis Marion. They've got to throw it on the far side. For Georgia College, Alyssa Bergamini will come out.
Substitutions on both sides for Francis Marion. It's number 19, Sarah Mall, for the Bobcats.
Sarah Mall comes in for Francis Marion. Ellie Watson comes in for GC. Watson coming in will go up top, which is where Kia Jai Jacobs was, but Jacobs now moves down to the right wing. I have Jacobs on one wing, Balzano on the left wing, standing on the far side of the field. Watson up top. We'll see what that combination will look like. We've had it a couple of times this season, or a few times to my memory. It's been solid. Especially looking forward to seeing more from Ellie Watson. We haven't had a ton of her this year, but she has definitely made some appearances in games in which she has put some shots on goal. Ball's played into a gap. Watson sprinting over and passing it back to Jacobs, who has time, makes the decision to try to pass it towards the middle of the field. It's a little bit ahead of Ligon. And now McQueen has it intercepted. McQueen is the leading scorer for FMU. 4 goals from her on the year leads their team, 4 of their 8 through 9 games for Francis Marion. Would have expected that we'd see more from her, especially offensively. But to my count, she does not even have a shot on goal. She's been playing in a more defensive role, not getting forward with her team quite as much. Ligon chips it in. It's a good ball for Balzano. Balzano at the top of the 18. Pushes it over on the left side. Now it will be cleared away. Ball rolls over on the near sideline. GC will take a throw in. Ball kicked out of bounds. Another throw for Georgia College. Bobcats playing in their 4th Peach Belt Conference game in a row, 3 of which have been at home. Now a throw in coming for Francis Marion. Capra couldn't quite get to it. Ferris will walk up and take a throw in. We're midway through the second half of play. Georgia College has looked good, scoring early in the second half. An assist from Balzano and a goal from the young woman on the ball, Kia Jai Jacobs. Jeffries advancing and poking it out on the left side. Offensive run from Ruiz will lead to a corner kick for Georgia College. That has their bench excited. Again, Ruiz and Ferris heavily involved in the offense. I know that has led to a lot more offense created for Georgia College. That's something I would love to see in the future. And I mention it because we haven't seen a ton of it this year. We've definitely seen them both involved, but not near as much as they have been. And because of that, they've both put shots on goal. And now Georgia College out shooting Francis Marion 17-5. Balzano's shot spirals out towards the left sideline. It's still in play. Served in for Jacobs. It's off the crossbar. Balzano lays it off. Ligon spins, has room at the top of the 18. Her left-footed shot travels wide right of the post. 21 minutes and 8 seconds remain. Morris winning another 50-50 ball. McQueen passing it back. Off Bonser, out of bounds. Ball won by the Bobcats. Ligon to Ferris on the left side. Balzano has the ball and room to work. It's on her left foot, shot off the post. Balzano inches away from her first goal of the evening. And speaking of Cassie Balzano, for Georgia College, she's had quite an impact on their team. She was the Bobcat Athlete of the Week last week for the second time this season. Balzano losing control there. But with her being the Athlete of the Week, she was the first recipient 2 times of that award this week. Becca Morris sending a shot way high. Goal kick ahead. But for Balzano, 2-time recipient of the Bobcat Athlete of the Week award this year, she became the 6th player in Georgia College history to have a hat trick on Saturday against Georgia Southwestern. Scored all 3 of her team's goals, 1 in the first half, 2 in the second. Balzano has already passed her goal total from last season with 6. She has 15 in her career after her hat trick. She moved into 7th place in Georgia College program history for career goals scored, passing Anya Mancinelli, class of 2018, here at Georgia College. 19 minutes left. We're through 71. GC leads 1-0 over conference opponent Francis Marion. Balzano has been close. Balzano did have 3 of her team's 9 shots in the first half. Jacobs on the left side after a great ball. Now puts it over the keeper. It's too high. Hennenkamp will take a goal kick. Well, GC has had some golden opportunities here in the second half. They haven't been able to finish them. They've come rather close to it. Thankfully, they haven't really needed to finish them. They do have a 1-0 lead. They'd, of course, like to pad that. We'll see what happens here in the final 18 minutes. Georgia College has started to break things open here. Not in terms of scoring, but in terms of possession. They had about 60% possession in the second half. They've had at least that in the second. Ellie Watson passing it over. Bonser darted ahead. Now Becca Morris. Ferris on the right side. Jacobs tried to flick it behind her for Watson. FMU on the right side. Ball goes out. They've been unable to string together a lot of passes in a row here for Georgia College. That's been one of the biggest reasons they're successful. It's passing, moving forward. They've been fairly direct, haven't just been sitting back with the ball, but in terms of passing, they've been connecting very well with each other, especially in that midfield third. For Francis Marion, it's been pretty much the opposite. Ball goes out of bounds off of the Patriots. It's off of McQueen, I believe. Now here's McQueen. Kiajai Jacobs has it knocked out of bounds. Throw in for Georgia College. Ferris will take it. A shade over 16 minutes remain. Bonser, another good win in the midfield. Tonight she's provided a lot of value defensively, making really good tackles all over. It's Jeffries who made a run there all the way from the back line for Georgia College. Not much really came of it. Capra hitting it with her left foot. Bonser finds Morris, who now sends it over to Balzano. She's on sides, streaking down the right side. Her pass in for Jacobs, and Kiajai Jacobs whistled offsides on the play. The ball didn't go in either way. Hennenkamp came off of her line. But now we will have stoppage of the clock. Balzano talks to the center referee, who stopped the clock there to talk to Balzano. The center referee tells, I think, Balzano and a couple of players from Georgia College back behind the play, asking them to be quiet. Stop the clock to talk to them. Now it obviously resumes as play is back. 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and 7 seconds to go here in the second half of play. A run made there by Garnett. Possession for Georgia College. Tripped up is Ellie Watson, who earns a free kick right near midfield for the Bobcats. Bonser to Morris. She has room to work. Comes inside. Hennenkamp secures it. Just an update here. Statistically, Georgia College has fired 23 shots today. Becca Morris putting another shot on wide left. 24 shots for Georgia College. 5 times as many almost as FMU. FMU has 5 total. Only 2 shots for Francis Marion thus far in the second half compared to, for Georgia College, 15. Watson sends it to Balzano. Balzano fires from long distance. Hennenkamp will take the goal kick. She has 4 career shutouts. 3 of them have come this season. She doesn't have one today.
All right, 3 substitutions for Francis Marion.
Francis Marion made 3 substitutions.
Number 22, Bridget Barrett, and number 9, Xenia Nava.
Atkinson on the sideline for Georgia College kicks it out. We're under 13 minutes to play. GC up 1-0 over FMU.
Good job, Taylor. You're already on the box.
Ball comes to the top of the 18. Sent out towards Capra on the near side. Atkinson again making the play for Georgia College. To give you an update on the 2019 Women's Soccer Peach Belt Conference standings, North Georgia 4-0 in the Peach Belt. They have 12 points. They lead. Flagler 3-0. They have 9 points. They're in second. Lander 2-0-1 is in third. UNC Pembroke 2-1. They have 6 points. They're in fourth. Young Harrison fifth. 2-1 with 6 points as well. Georgia College comes in at 6th place in the Peach Belt at the moment. This win would give them 3 more points, which would put them up to 7 points. They'd be tied for third with Lander, who they tied in double overtime here at home. It was about a week and a half ago. Jeffries in the back. So a win, needless to say, would be huge here for Georgia College, elevating them in the standings. Here's Balzano with the ball bouncing right up to her. It's played back to Hinnenkamp. Balzano challenges, but it's sent out on the right side. Elliot Watson is in the area. And it's cleared away. But one note to me that I find quite interesting, Columbus State is 4-6 this season. They're 0-4 in Peach Belt Conference play. They're the reigning champions in the Peach Belt Conference. When I was first reading through the standings, I kept looking, where's Columbus State? Where are they? They're all the way at the bottom. I think if you ask people that have been around the Peach Belt to project the standings, they would not have put Columbus State anywhere in the bottom half. Ferris's shot off the left post. Jacobs crashes in. Her shot goes wide left as well. Goal kick upcoming for Hinnenkamp and FMU. But Columbus State surprisingly at the bottom. North Georgia always has a good program. They are at the top with 12 points. Flagler, who's been good for the past few years, has engineered some great performances overall. They are 8-0, undefeated. The only undefeated team remaining in the Peach Belt Conference. Ball comes back to Hinnenkamp. Ball rolls out to Balzano on the right side. Balzano tries to slide it in for Jacobs. A slide tackle sends the ball back to Hinnenkamp, who picks it up, and we've got 10 minutes to play. Bonser wins it in the midfield. Jacobs right near the penalty spot. The ball rolls out on the near side. Pass from Nava. Barr passes it ahead to Nava. 22 yards away from goal. She passes it off. That will be the 6th shot of the game for Francis Marion. Kate Richardson out of Marietta High School will now step up and punt it long. Balzano looking for Jacobs. Jacobs plays it to Morris. On the far side, top of your screen, Morris now will turn and dribble into the 18. Barr kicks it long. GC will get a throw-in. Kick was inaccurate. The Bobcats have 27 shots. That would mean that in the past 150 minutes or so, 152 minutes to be exact, Georgia College has put 57 shots out. Now, obviously, not all of those have been on frame, but 57 shots from the Bobcats, and now 152 minutes of play. That is incredible. You rarely see that. Free kick from the right side, volleyed up into the air. Morris heads it. Ball passed over towards the near side. Capra past the sideline. Tried to get a 1-2. Aaron Ferris read it very well. Now she takes it down the sideline, darting ahead. Her pass intercepted by Chavez. Chavez passing it over to Barr. Seven minutes left. Balzano has room to work again. Chavez will come and challenge her. Balzano beats her. Puts it in with her right foot. Cassie Balzano scores her 4th goal in the past 2 games. 2nd of the evening for Georgia College. The Bobcats lead 2-0. Goal coming in the 83rd minute of play.
The assist to number 18.
Balzano now has 15 points on the season, 7 goals and 1 assist. She's been Georgia College's top offensive player, making a great case to be team MVP and also a postseason Peach Belt Conference best 11 player or all-conference player. Substitution made for the Bobcats. It looks like Bergamini has come back in for Watson. Georgia College has some nice padding to their lead. Nava challenged in the 18 by Aaron Ferris and a goal kick after the ball was off on Nava. But Balzano was in great position there. She's been in situations like that all night long. She's able to finish one, and it's tough. She has multiple defenders. She beat Chavez on that play, who attempted a slide tackle. After that, had to beat the goalkeeper in Hennenkamp, a battle-tested sophomore, and she did a fantastic job of it. Confirmation, it is Alexis Bergamini into the game for Ellie Watson. A touch over 6 minutes to play as the clock ticks down here. Georgia College is leading. Now Balzano, who just scored, again being the Bobcat Athlete of the Week, will get interviewed. We'll have an interview posted on the GC Bobcats social media. We'll be recording it after the game if everything goes as planned. Ball played in for Alexis Bergamini. She's on sides. Hennenkamp clears it away. Morris coming in. She'll chip the keeper. Oh, what a shot. Becca Morris puts it in for Georgia College. Their 3rd goal of the night. Becca Morris from 30 yards out. Well, Hennenkamp was off her line. She didn't hustle to get back onto it, and Becca Morris, who has been showing all game, she's not afraid to take long shots, gets one on target. GC up 3-0, 2 goals in the past 3 minutes, and the Bobcats have broken this one open. Their goal differential in conference play skyrocketing. They've beat their past 2, or they're up on their past 2 opponents 6-0. After a 3-0 win, they lead 3-0 now. Ball goes past Jacobs. Summer Ligon taking the ball down the right side. Balzano with a nice nutmeg. She puts it in with her right foot into the area. Jacobs is close. Tried to give it maybe a bicycle attempt there. Bonser beats a defender off the dribble. Her shot will sail wide. 29 shots from Georgia College. That's a number 30. 2 consecutive games of 30 shots, 2 consecutive games of 3 goals. 4 minutes and 29 seconds left in the game. Substitutions will be made as Cassie Balzano, who has put forth a very spectacular effort. It's been no less than stellar. She comes off.
How'd that happen?
Now into the game is Ryan Smith, who just got her first touch on the ball on that goal kick. Smith recorded her first career assist on one of Cassie Balzano's 3 goals, the first goal against Georgia Southwestern last week. The only goal of the first half last week. Now this week, there were no goals in the first half for Georgia College. We were tied 0-0 at halftime. GC outshooting FMU 9-3. They win, or they go ahead 3-0. They're 4 minutes away from their second conference win. But in the second half, winning the battle of shots on goal with 21 shots total. Not all of them on frame, but a good percentage. That's their 31st shot from Georgia College here. All but 9 have come in the second half. For FMU, they've been limited to 3 shots again in the second half. Ligon attempting a long shot of her own. This one goes right. She's trying to join the party there of scoring 30-yard goals. Ligon will come off. But speaking of those long 25, 30-yard goals, the one we saw from Becca Morris is a great reward for a player who always, whenever she's not involved in the front line of the attack, does a really good job of sprinting forward and getting ahead to be a second wave. If the ball trickles out or if it's cleared away, a lot of times she will be there to try to give Georgia College a second wind or a second opportunity in the attack. To see her get rewarded for that and a style of play that takes a lot of extra effort, it's a very cool thing, especially in a conference game. Ball sent up top for Francis Marion, but Kaya Jeffries is there to deny them. Under 3 to play. Morris turns.
All right, we had substitutions on both sides. For Francis Marion, we had number 6, Carly Gauthier.
We had substitutions on both sides. Carly Gauthier and Brianna Borello in for Francis Marion. And number 12, Brooke Kennedy in for Francis Marion. And for Georgia College, Grace Barham is into the game. And Cameron Davis is also into the game for Georgia College. A trio of subs from each team to finish out the final, now 2 minutes and 10 seconds of play. Jacobs pushes over one of the Patriots and will have a free kick about 25 or 30 yards away from goal for Francis Marion. We'll give it a little over 30 yards. 1:53 to go. The kick will be taken by Carly Gauthier. Georgia College putting 3 players in their wall. The center referee talked to Kia Jacobs, it looked like, but somebody in the wall talking to them about the call on the last play. I think it was Jacobs because she committed the foul. Referee just talking it over with her, trying to maintain control in the game. He stopped the clock again to talk to some of the players. Gauthier's shot right at Richardson. Good positioning from the goalkeeper. And now with 90 seconds left, she'll look to distribute the ball. Here's a credit to the referee. He stopped the game a couple of times, but he's done a really good job keeping it within his control. We have a couple of teams who have played physical at times. Bergamini chased it, Hennenkamp has it. And I'm not sure if I read this right. I mean, I read it right, but I'm not sure if the website's correct because it's a little bit of an unbelievable number. But Francis Marion on the season, at this point, has 5 red cards and 3 yellow cards in 8 games. That's what it said on their stat sheet, which I thought was really interesting for Georgia College to give you reference. Only 2 yellow cards compared to all of the reds and yellows that we've seen from Francis Marion. Their opponents have had 3 reds and a few yellows in the games they've played. It's been very interesting to me to see all those red cards given. I mean, I didn't see it, but to see it on the stat sheet, it's a bit abnormal. 25 seconds left. Ryan Smith pursuing. Smith plays it towards the top of the 18. The ball's intercepted. We've got 10 seconds left. Smith tries to serve it to Jacobs. Bergamini's shot off her left foot, mishit. That will be Georgia College's 32nd shot of the game. If they add that, the clock expires. Georgia College wins 3-0 over FMU in their 4th conference game. It's their 2nd conference win. They have now catapulted to 3rd in the standings with 7 points in conference play. Georgia College will play next Wednesday against Albany State at Bobcat Field. For a quick little wrap up, in terms of the goals scored, Kia Jai Jacobs had the first, Cassie Belzano the second, and Becca Morris the third. All 3 goals coming here in the second half of play. Georgia College has outshot FMU 31-8. Maybe a startling ratio, but shows you the Bobcats dominated the game, had over 60% possession. Everything went well for Georgia College, especially in the second half of play. The game was a fun one to watch. I enjoyed calling it here on the Bobcat Broadcast Network. I'm Luke Winstill. Thank you all for tuning in. We appreciate your support, and we will see you back a week from today against Albany State.
Simon.